Give everyone a
Okay, we're
chance.
live. Good morning,
Yeah.
Trekker.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Matt. I've got you.
We need like a theme song or something.
I'm just talking about Matt. If we'll give your YouTube followers a couple seconds extra because now you're getting monetized, and so they have to watch at least 10 seconds or maybe even 5 seconds of an ad before
Yeah,
they can come
five
into the
seconds.
show.
Yeah.
Let's go. Well, welcome everybody. Good morning. Happy Bitcoin Monday. We had a very exciting weekend of Bitcoin, um, challenging that upper trend line. Here, wait. I'll just. Am I up?
Not yet.
Okay. No,
I can show my Bitcoin real quick though. Just
no.
to,
You go ahead, Matt. It's your
yeah.
show. This
No,
is Matt's show.
it's our show now.
It's our
Ours,
show
yes.
now. Oh, thank you.
But this is. I was telling everybody yesterday. This is going to be resistance, and guess what happened on my linear scale again? Yes, it was exactly resistance. So therefore, the people that wanted to short Bitcoin way down here is like, no, wait till up here, and that would have been the opportunity. And there it goes. But is it going to go much lower? I don't think so. I think there's some pretty good support now underneath. So we'll see. It just might take some time to break this level. But I think this is for Bitcoin. It's going to eventually break out of this zone and then go much higher. But just going to take some time. So it was obvious resistance hit. So that's why you saw things sell off basically after the weekly candle close yesterday.
Woo. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really exciting Monday opening for all the miners and everything because a lot of people were piling in on Friday as it was going up, but I actually was selling some of mine, hoping I'd be able to catch this coming back down. If you throw me up here for a second,
Yeah,
Matt,
right
just
there.
so here's the chart that I was show. I was tracking this all over the weekend here, and we had the first time rejection of this here. It's actually this trend line right here on the weekly chart of Bitcoin coming down this trend right here. And then we're just hanging around. We're just talking about this part. I'm zoomed in right here. Rejected 68,998 on Friday, just before the market closed, a couple hours before the market closed. Came back down over the weekend. We got like an ABC retrace. And I'm basically calling for, I did this for this morning. It came back up after going ABC down to 68,008. It started to build constructively again. We topped out at 69,487. And then what I did was I just looked and when I woke up this morning, it was already like past at this 3 well, it was already at 68,587. So what I literally did was I just took this I took here I'll do a new one. I took a fib retracement. I went from the top here and I just started pulling it down until my 382 lined up with 68 587. And so that's the one you see here. So it is lined up from the top to this 382 and then everything else that follows. Look how well it has worked out. It did go up to the 23.6. I didn't fudge that. That's actually what it came up from. I just clicked this point and this point, and it went exactly there while I was asleep last night. And now it's testing this 50% level. And if it gets below the 50% level of 68,152, then an ideal retrace would take us to 67,718 with a possibility for an extension of this retrace to the 76.4 at 67,180. I've got this chart for everyone to see in my profile if you want to look at it static later.
So there is lots of support below,
Oh
basically.
yeah, tons of
Many different
support.
levels. Yeah.
And so it could stop right here. This 50% could be where it just turns around. It hasn't broken below this 5 a.m. low yet. It might just hang out here and then go back up again. But I'm really excited to buy some more of the positions that I sold when Bitcoin was here on Friday. I'm going to buy them back in this whole area right here.
Yeah, I mean, some miners are even green right now. Like CLSK is green pre-market, so
Ooh, let's take a look.
we'll see.
Yep, here's CLSK. I've got some nice high targets for it. I have to get let me go to the daily, or no, the 8 hours, because then I can see the pre-market after hours. Oh yeah, look, it's gone beyond. I had a 1618 target for it, and it went over that, and now it's over the 1764. It might go if it doesn't retrace to 1255. It will. Let's just look for 200 and 1352 next. 'Cause look, it
Yeah,
already
I
almost did
have a
it.
similar. I got like 1360, 1370 that is a major resistance point for me. So let's see if that can break.
I'm trying to see maybe support will be the 1618 at 1255. Maybe it won't have such a long pullback either.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are just holding pretty well, like pre-market. So
Great, because they're front running or whatnot. You know, they're anticipating what's going to happen.
yeah,
Whereas before, up to now, they've always like waited to see what's going to happen with Bitcoin.
yeah,
That's the excitement of the positive sentiment piling in.
yeah. Even MicroStrategy is pretty flat pre-market too, just down a little bit. Yeah.
MicroStrategy. I haven't been doing the smaller degree of this. Oh, 8 minutes. No wonder it looked weird. I wanted 8 hours.
You know that classic 8-minute chart.
Oh
Gotta.
my god, the 8 minute chart. Yeah, I'm looking for MicroStrategy to go to 253.48 next. So
Yeah.
let's see. And maybe it won't have this deep pullback. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just going to keep going to 300 and then pull back to 224. Anyway, well, I'm sure you've got a much better chart than me. Go ahead, Matt. Show us what you want to show us this morning.
Yeah.
You usually cover the indices and everything.
We have some requests for IWM. I'll
Oh,
get to
sure,
that in a
absolutely.
second. I'll just put on mine. Yeah, so MicroStrategy for me, just real quick. The next level is really 245 for me, the 1.272, and that is the fib from this high back in 2021 down to this low back here. So in 2022. So yeah, I think it's going to gravitate up, and as long as it holds like above like 200, I think that'll be a good
Hmm.
amount. Just like that wick right there, I think that'll just be good enough for it to continue higher. So this looks bullish, really, really good for MicroStrategy. And I'll go into the SPY now. And yeah, I told you guys last week it's been at resistance. It's at the 1.618 fib, that same kind of extension from that high to that low. And nothing has changed. Still resistance for the IWM, or sorry, for SPY, QQQ, still resistance for the QQQ. It's resistance for Bitcoin, right? Everything's at resistance right now. IWM, it's actually looking like a support possibly, but
Oh
this is
yeah.
the log scale. So I'm going to flip to linear scale because I like that one a little bit better. The 786 is really looking positive as holding for support here. So I want 223.76 to hold as a support throughout the week. And for resistance, it's got to break this 226.74. So on linear scale, it's also still stuck under resistance. So basically everything, including Bitcoin now, is at resistance. So it's just a little bit of caution, I think, right now.
I
And I
just want to
think
report that at this very moment, Bitcoin just broke below my 50% level, and it is
that's
heading
what that
down. Yeah,
alarm
it's
did.
heading down to 67,718 next. Test
All right, I like
618.
your alarms.
Thanks. I like infringement.
And yeah, so with that said, let's see more things that are getting rejected at resistance. Let's look at Tesla.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Tesla.
Tesla.
Tesla's just having the worst time finding a prom date.
Yeah, so but it's obvious it's still stuck under resistance, that 221.26 right there. But we talked about it on Saturday, Tesla a
Yep.
lot for the Catterday.
Yep. Counter day.
How there's lots of support underneath. So the bull market support band, it is kind of wicking through it right now. So that is a little bit, could be a resistance soon. We'll see if it can hold or not. But it's still bullish because the week's not over yet. It just started. So it still can just be a wick and close back above. And then we got the Ichimoku there. It still has the top of the cloud is 219. Pre-market's a little bit below 217. But there's a lot of confluence down there lower, right here at 207, 206, 205, all right here, all three of these. And you got the 100 and the 50 week moving average sloping up. So can it go lower? Yes, it can, obviously, for a back test of that zone. But is that a bearish or scary thing to me? No, it's just something that could happen, and it doesn't matter either way because breakouts and back tests, no matter how deep they go, are not a bearish thing once they start breaking level after level, which this has done. And it's kind of proof because of these upward sloping averages.
I want to make a prediction right now based on this chart, based on everything you've been saying for like the last couple of weeks.
All
I
right.
think going into the earnings is Wednesday, by the way, if you guys didn't already know, that's earnings after market close on Wednesday. I think price is going to go sideways right until the end of the day Wednesday, and then as soon as it goes to as soon as it's 4 o'clock, we're going to get a crazy wick down that runs down to 200. It just touches 201% or something like that, or maybe 199.99, and then it goes up. And I'm looking for a big God candle to take us out over 258, and head for 300.
You think
That's
that'll
what.
happen after hours, or you think that'll be
Oh,
during
it'll
the
be
day?
definitely after hour. I mean, it'll be
Right.
after if
But
we
it's not
got
going
any
to
kind
be.
of God candle, it would be once the earnings report came out.
So you
But
don't think it'll happen during the market open the next day?
no, I think it'll happen after hours. I think people, what I'm imagining happening, what I'm trying to will into power, is that
Mhm.
there's something in that earnings report that just absolutely astounds people, and they just all hit the buy button, the
Yeah.
money managers and whatnot, and fundamental people will
Yeah.
come out and say, "Oh, I can calculate this to be like trillions of dollars worth." And if not, maybe if that doesn't happen, then it'll just keep going sideways until after election's done, because
But it's
that's
just
that
like
always.
the same thing that happened in April, though. Everybody, it was at support and at the 140s, and people were like, "Oh, it's gonna collapse. Or they're gonna miss. They're gonna do this." Like, there's really no point in speculating. Like, support is support to me until it's not.
Yeah,
It's gonna be support until it, or if it breaks, then I will change my thesis. Then that's the best way to trade, not to just be like, "Oh God, I'm gonna panic. It's gonna go all down." No, it's support. It's support until it's not, and I think that's just the best mentality to have in trading because it's got to
yep,
prove it to you. If it doesn't prove it to you, then why would you change your thesis, right? Why
yeah,
would you try to predict something? And right now, things are bullish, right? Things from the bottom keep on building levels at a higher base, right, than they were
yep.
before. So that is a bullish development, not a bearish development. And
No,
until
this
that,
chart's absolutely bullish. Higher highs, higher lows. And when
yeah,
I said it run back to 200, it's like a wick that it lasts for maybe 2 minutes at most, and then it's done. So
well,
don't try to trade 200. You know,
well,
hopefully you
this
just have a.
is
Yeah.
this is my original GAN that I had before, and guess what's down there? Like 200. You know,
Yeah.
so
One more little touch, and then
yeah,
off we go.
yeah. Well,
It's
that's the
like, oh,
monthly.
okay, 200's the final floor. Now we can go to 300.
But
It's
yeah,
like this
the week,
weird psychological thing.
but the weekly chart, it would still be a higher low from August 5th. If it had did that. So it's like
Yeah.
higher low, higher low, higher low. It wouldn't even matter. Like in the high time frame, this whole zone doesn't even matter. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
We'll try
people,
not to belabor it so we can get to the request, but you can see right on this chart where Matt's got it, you know, the lower green arc, price hangs out there, then it jumps up to the next arc, hangs out down there. Now it's stuck over the GAN horizontal line, and
yeah,
that is holding a support. So
yeah.
from there, that's our launch pad.
Yeah, which has been support since 2021, really a major support zone. So this
Yeah.
is good.
And the other two are
There,
just like tests.
yeah, and there's a request for Meta IC, not on this chart. So Meta, I think it's gonna go retest this 1.272 now, 563 from this high, just a small little fib right here. So I can see 563 for Meta before it's breaking out because it got rejected by that 1618 on top. It broke out. Now it's back testing levels. Could it go a little bit deeper? Yeah, it could. But I think that's maybe the minimum level it'll stop at now before it wants to continue higher.
I've got a larger degree meta chart that
Yeah.
says the wave 3 tops out at $679.63 for the 1618 extension. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
here you got me on here. So yeah,
Yeah.
60, it's about 680 right here. pulls back to the 1236 at 540, and then on up to the 2618, 1045. And of course, my charts don't predict timing, just the price points. So, if you just want to go, I don't know. I'd love to see how this compares to Matt's charts, but yeah, basically just hold it, let it ride into 680, and then, wait or hedge down to 540. And then it's go time from there, back up to over 1,000.
Yeah. My meta on log scale here, it's actually approaching the next scan level after it retested it here, and that
What's
is
your
646, round up to 650.
ooh.
And there's
So
going to be a lot of resistance above with the arc up there too. So I don't know if it's going to get to 1,000 right away. There could be some kind of rejection up here, and then maybe a
yeah,
retest.
I could
So
see that. Maybe it comes right to 636.48, and then it comes up to your 640, and then gets back down to 636. Then it gets over to 680, and then comes back to the 640. Like my chart kind of explains the extents of the oscillation, and your chart pinpoints where the oscillation is going to take place.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it's just consolidating now. So however far it falls, but I still think it has room to go up more after that. So yeah,
Yeah, meta's not a sell; it's like a buy some more.
yeah. Let's see, IONQ. Haven't really charted this one before, but it's at resistance on the weekly chart. It just hit the top of the cloud. So this is something to you guys it's gotta break. It's gotta break in order to go higher. And right now, it's not looking like it's gonna break. And this week's resistance does sit around the same level, right around like 1380. So I think it's just gonna remain in this wide range possibly until it's ready to break. So just got to
Show,
keep an
show
eye
me
on
next. Show me next. I'm gonna do my retrace magic here. So a retrace from the low that we had back towards the high puts this at the 50%. This action in 2023 around the 50% fib, couldn't get above it, comes back down. Now it's trying to reclaim the 382. So I think this would probably go 1573. Ooh, back to 1097, and then on up to 2344. That's my prediction for this. So if you've got about oops, where's here? You got 8, maybe 20% more. Unless it goes all the way to the 50%. Let's be more. I'm going to be more gracious with this. Let's say actually it does. This makes more sense. It does go to 1959. So you've got about 48% upside. Then it's going to test back to the 382, 1573, and on up to 100%, 3590. Right there's my IONQ chart. I just made it just now before your very eyes.
Nice. Yeah, but it looks like it can break that resistance. It just might take some time. All right,
Nice.
let's go. I see another request for PENN here. So PENN, this is still kind of a bearish chart from the high up here, right? I'll go to log scale just for easy reviewing. Yeah, just a major collapse from 2021, but it's starting to get a little bit better, but it's never been inside the cloud ever since 2021. It's wicked to the cloud, but it's never had a weekly candle inside of it until maybe this week. This weekly candle will open up in the cloud right here. So is that a good development? Yeah, it sure is, right? It has room now to go up to the 50-week moving average up there, which is right around 1986. But as you can see, that's another major resistance average with all these wicks above, right, in the past. So I think it has room to go closer to $20, but not sure if it's going to break that yet. But this chart is actually getting more and more bullish and getting inside the clouds, opening right now in this zone is a very positive development because it's the first time since 2021. So it's really good.
Do me next.
All right.
All right, here's my PENN chart, Penn. I just did the same thing you just saw me do before. I had no chart for this. I did a retrace down from the 1350 bottom back to the 142 top. A standard retrace goes 382, 236, 618. So my next target is 62.59 for this. It looks like it's got a nice rounded bottom. It's building a base of support.
Yeah.
It did make a new lower low. So I think it's going to curve back up. 62.59 next.
Yeah. And opening up inside that cloud, like I said, is actually a very, very good step in the right direction for PENN. So maybe I'll keep an eye on it for now on myself. I don't typically do these kind of charts since they're in a perpetual downtrend, but this perpetual downtrend could be over.
Yeah, see, like I'm putting a whole bunch of charts like this into my spreadsheet now because there's so much risk reward. The reward's so good for the risk.
Yeah,
I'm
and
putting
look,
small position in here.
less and less that's a 1 minute chart, huh? Or no, one month. No,
1 minute, 1 month chart.
Oh no, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's less and less retail too, so that's good.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
See, and then it's a 220% gain from where it is right now to where it could be going. So I like a small position, and then a 220% gain on a small position is a win.
And we're gonna go with Coinbase next.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Here. So Coinbase, this is not going to be a resistance of the ARC, it looks like, or is it? Well, let's see. So this was rejected here, and pre-market, yeah, it looks like it's still going to be resistance because it's going to open up right on that ARC pre-market. So this is looking like it could come back down and test levels before it wants to break out. But no matter what, I see it gravitating towards 245. This 786 above. This looks really good. It's really strong. It held that Gann angle and that 618 perfectly in the past, and it broke above the 702, this halfway point. So this is looking better and better for continuation. It's just got to confirm it by breaking above this arc, and possibly it's not ready yet, but if it does break out this week, then I think 245 is next.
I just like sort of the story of it, right? Bitcoin's on a tear. All the altcoins are going to be on a tear soon, and the more people get involved, they're going to be flocking to Coinbase to do their trading. Coinbase is going to make all those fees, and
well,
so
not only that,
yeah, going up.
The altcoins are just when they start taking off, they're going to make so much in fees because they have a big altcoin portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to take off. Yeah, like you said, it's just going to be beautiful for coin. I think even maybe better than MicroStrategy when it's altcoin season. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. I see lots of good mornings in the feed. Yeah. It's really nice.
Do you have a coin chart, or you want to go do Mara? I see a request.
I've got a coin chart. My coin chart is let's go back to the 1 weekly. Weekly chart. My coin chart goes to 366.66 next is the top of my wave 3. Then a retrace to 307, and then on up to 522.50. You guys can take a screenshot of that if you want, or just jot it down. That's my coin chart. And then whatever you want to do next, Matt.
Mara? Yeah, we can go to Mara here. So Mara, it's held that 50% level right there. I'll put on the cloud real quick just to see. Yeah, it has the conversion line at the same level. So really there's nothing in the way except for these previous candles over here that is kind of holding it back. And once it can break above those, and I can even just draw a line right there just to show you guys, like it was kind of a support zone, resistance, support, then resistance, and now resistance. So this is kind of really an important zone, the 1880s, $19 zone. So this is what I want to break. If it breaks, then I think the 2023, 2060, and beyond will be next. But until then, it might just be stuck a little bit and waiting for Bitcoin to make a move.
You got $24 for that 618?
23.75. Yeah.
Nice. I've got a 38.2% fib extension at $25, which I think is going to be support when it comes back here. Yeah, my next target for Mara is 36.83. A retrace back down to the wave 2 of $25. Then the wave 3 tops out at 55.98. Back to 44.15, and on up to finish this cycle at, I might be too stingy with this. Let's give it the 2618, 94.27. been trying to be less stingy with my fib extensions here. I think we're going into a new bullish market that is going to be quite unlike the 2023, 2024 cycle where I was using 1382s and 2382s for the tops. I think I'm going to have to start going to 1618s and 2618s.
Nice.
What we got next?
Right here, Caterpillar. So this is a really bullish chart, but it's getting kind of like not rejected, almost rejected by the 1.272 from this high to that low. So 405 is kind of that resistance zone, and then you got the 382 below it, which was the previous all-time high. So if it can't get the momentum back, I think it might be going back to 382 before it really wants to continue higher. And linear scale fib, it did hit that 1.272. So just wanted to point that out, that this linear is more accurate, but 382 is still the same level. So therefore, if it can't break 402, then maybe 382 is next.
All right. I see a request for N phase, and they said they have earnings tomorrow.
Yeah, so I talked a lot about it last week and in my Patreon. There we go. So yeah, it lost support and it made a lower low. So therefore, this is not a good setup for going into earnings. But could it come back up to 100 and then get rejected and roll over? Yeah, it could. So either way, I've mentioned that it's probably going to go down and retest this arc again. That's probably now, in my opinion, the most likely scenario. And there's a daily gap down there too. Look at that daily gap right here. I'll take off the Ichimoku so you can see it clear. There's a gap, right? And that gap is what, 78? And guess what? In time, if you go down to that arc, where does that 79, 78 in time, right? So that basically would close that gap. And there you go. So I think people that are looking for opportunity like me, I would probably add more down here. And right now it's just it broke support, right? Which means it's going to take a longer time to get bullish. And I think what we're looking at now, and yes, I'm still in it too as well. I haven't really sold, and it's just a high time frame bullish chart. But it's like Tesla; it hasn't really made any higher highs yet, so therefore it's technically not bullish, and it's not going to be. It looks like for a little bit more time because it broke that long-term support. That was support for over a year too, by the way. So that's why I was kind of like nibbling at it down there because I thought it was going to hold, but no, it did not. But it's okay. It did that V bottom before, and I think it's going to do it again for a higher low and then continue higher. So high time frame is still fine, but you got to endure a little bit more pain before the gain.
I just put in my market sell order for ENPH at the open. I got 100 shares. It's like, I don't want to pick it all the way down there. I want to announce that this sounds really cool. I don't think you mind if I said, Katz, he's just sold his DraftKings to buy more coin. That's it. So
nice.
He's bullish.
But DraftKings looks good too. But we'll go to NVIDIA first.
Yeah.
So NVIDIA, no change at all, right? It's just in between the previous all-time high and the 886. So that is the zone that it might be in until it's ready to break out. But this is a bullish chart. From this high to that low, it looks like it wants to go to the 140s and the 150s and beyond eventually. Just not sure when it's ready to break that 140 or not.
Yep, but when it does, it's going to go up big because, when it went up big before, it overheated, smacked into the Bollinger Band top, and now we've been like waiting to get some, build a base. The base is just about done building, and so when it goes up, it's going to go up high and fast again, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I think I skipped some BTBT. Yeah, it's going up towards the 0.5 level right there. So 418, actually it is exactly on the 0.5, 418. It's going to open up maybe right at resistance. But I was excited about this candle. I was like, yeah, that's breaking back above my arc here. It was good. We talked about it last Tuesday, I think, on the triumvirate, and that was when it was below the arc, and it just kept on going. So it was a good week. Will it continue? Probably, but might get rejected here, kind of like how Bitcoin got rejected right here. So everything, a lot of things, and not everything, a lot of things are at resistance still. So just got to be a little bit cautious, or I got to be a little bit cautious at those zones until they break. And
And I've got a little triangle around BTBT. Let me just finish drawing this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
764, 382. Let's go to 1618, 100%, and then 2618. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should bring this back to the 1236. Oh man, it's gonna get so weird having to rethink how I draw these now. But I think that's what's gonna happen. Well, I'll know for sure when we start hitting lots and lots and lots of 1618s.
Yeah.
They'll start all kind of clustering together, and I'll know. I'll have some evidence, not just a sentiment of my own. But yeah, like on the 1 hour chart, I've got a triangle on this thing, and
It's breaking out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's breaking out. It's breaking out of the triangle, so it's ready. Oh, look, I wrote this down last week. Matt's go timeline.
Yeah.
It's go time because we're at the line.
Well,
It's got
to go first.
Has it even tested? Yeah, it's just kind of, it put a toe over it. It's back under it. It just needs to get over it, touch back to it, and it can go on up. And then my larger degree time frame for weekly chart, I just drew it for you guys. I see $25.53 next for BTBT.
Yeah.
With a possible likely pullback to 1303, maybe 50%. I don't know. There's that right there. Maybe it comes back to the 618 instead. Maybe I'm being too stingy with it again. Maybe it just goes to 100%. Oh man. Yeah, this looks better. 100%, 618, 1618, 1236, 2618. This might be my new mantra for 2025. All right, I've took enough time. On to the next one.
All right. We'll go to Bitfarms, and this one, it finally got back above that 50% level, but it's in between my arcs here, so it's just stuck. It's got to break above this week. It's got to break above 215 in order to get more bullish. Other than that, it's just going to be stuck for some time. So we'll see. We'll pay attention to that 215 chart. All right. Price.
Yeah, I got the same thing. It's not even worth showing my chart. It's pretty confluent with yours. Let's keep going.
Hood. Robin Hood. Yeah, so Hood is good. It is still trending higher. My target is to just maintain this 45, and this week that 45-degree angle sits around 25.30, and just keep riding it up. And then if it keeps riding it up, it's going to go to 31. It's going to go to 32.41 before the next major resistance level. So it does look like it wants to gravitate higher still.
That's so funny you should say that, because what I've got is my wave one goes up to 32.01 for the 100%. Retest back down to 618 for 25.15. Then up to the 1618, 43.22. Back to the 1236 for 36.31, and then tops out at this cycle at $61.29.
Nice.
So 32.05 next, just like Matt said.
Yeah.
Around 32, it might go over a little bit, then under it, and then if it can't get any higher, it'll come back to 25. Yeah, maybe it will get to 36, and then the pullback is only going to be to 27.79.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm looking for now.
Very good. And next we got AMD. We can see that this is looking extremely bullish for the future. Just zooming out, very, very nice. Previous resistance, backtest the 45, breakout, backtest V bottom, and it's now above again. But like Tesla or others, it could come back down to that level, maybe 149, 150, just back test it again. But if it did do that, it's a major support zone. You got the ARC, you got that, and you even got some Ichimoku support down there too. So therefore, this is looking really good into earnings. Even if it did go down back to 149 or 150, I think that would be an opportunity for the future.
Yep, I would agree with you. I think a good place to buy AMD is anywhere between now and I don't think it'll go to 148. Anywhere between now and 150. Just accumulate some more AMD.
Yeah.
And then why are my fibs weird? This doesn't line up. Because I was trying to do a minor degree wave. My next target, the bottom's already in with AMD. It's not going to go any lower. It's not going back to 120. It's going to 298.84 next. In fact, that's too stingy. It's going to 318.06 next. So, that's your upside. You've got a lovely, if it came down to 152 and you bought at 152, that's a 110% gain to almost $300 next.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to LYFT here. LYFT, it's holding the market symmetry of this angle very well. It did hold that 100, but it's approaching resistance now with the 50-week moving average, 14, 16 there. And then when we put on the the Ichimoku as well, it's also has the cloud above there around 1435. So it is approaching a major resistance zone. It is on top of that baseline though, so that's a good thing. But I think what we're going to look at is just to see how it reacts when it gets to these price levels above.
I don't think I've got anything for LYFT. We can keep going.
Yeah, and any. I just have fibs here, and I want to see it break above that 702 first, the 2204. It is 2173. So pre-market, it is approaching that resistance level. So I want to see that break, but then there's going to be more resistance there at the 786 at 2561.
Let's see. What did you just say for your next resistance?
22.
Okay. We can pass that already. Okay. I've got 3254 for my wave one top. With a pullback to typically be 1942, then on up to 61.86, down to about 45ish, somewhere between the 1236 and the 100% extension, fib extension, and on up to $96 for the 2618. You guys can take a screenshot of that if you want. Here's NNE on a weekly chart.
Very good. All right, so I think I have time for maybe two more before I got to end it to get in preparation for my live stream.
Sounds good to me.
So therefore, I'll do ASPN. I think that's a popular one. So I see the 200-week moving average down there at 2062 and the confluence of my blue arc. So I think that's going to be a magnet for price. I think this whole zone from 2060 down to maybe $20 flat will be the zone. And I think it needs more time to just touch the cloud, because since it broke out, it never really touched the cloud. So I think it's just going to go sideways to down until that happens. So therefore, not bullish until it retests all the support zone here.
Yep, I got the same thing. I agree with this 200-week moving average right here. It's a red line on my chart.
Oh, I forgot to show my chart here.
Oh yeah, show your chart.
Yeah,
sorry.
So sorry guys, you were looking at his chart, but yeah, just basically the 200-week moving average and the green, the 50-week and the blue and the cloud. This whole zone I think needs to get back tested first before it goes down, and that's all in the $20 range, from $20 up to maybe $20.50.
I'm gonna have to keep DCAing my position then.
I'll switch back to you. So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna have to just extend this down. Well, so it won't make a new lower low. So everything here is still the same. It's just gonna come down to 2064ish, and then 618 less than 236 is not great. Let's lower our expectations just a little bit. 200%. Yeah. So, looking for 43 next from about 21ish, 22ish.
Yeah, I think once it gets to like the 20s or something, it can bounce pretty good.
Yeah, I just had the misfortune. I just bought a little bit too early. I bought somewhere. Oh, right here. I bought it right here. Right? No, I think I bought it here. It kept going up, and then it lost support, and then I just been DCAing into it ever since. But I think that what they do is they make a substance that insulates between battery cells. It's an energy play for batteries. They do battery technology, so it's a good bet as far as macro story goes.
Yeah, I think it can do well. And I'll do one more before I got to go. And this one is NVAX and Novavax. The market symmetry of this one is it just went straight up to the blue, straight back down for a double bottom here. And now it's holding. This is the 45. It doesn't look like it, but when you scale it like that, it is. So basically, it's holding that 45-degree angle very, very well now. And it's very, very symmetrical at each angle, too. So I think this week it's like 958, 960. So could it go down there? Yeah, but I think that could be the opportunity for NVAX.
And I've got an NVAX chart too. I think it looks like it's found a really good bottom here. I simply did a retrace from the low of 353 back up to 331.68, where it once hit an all-time high. And so I think this could recover 382.236.618, just like this. My next target would be 128.88.
Nice. Yeah,
Well,
I
I
think
guess
I think it can
go
go
ahead.
really high. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this thing, all these biotechs, they're boom and bust. They're cyclical in themselves, but they have these huge boom and bust. A lot of the stocks that I've gotten right now with the biggest gains are all pharma and biotech related.
Yeah.
They're my tracker spreadsheet, which you can come see. It's only $2 a month to subscribe to me, and you get my tracker spreadsheet, and it's full of all these stocks that are sorted by, what stock most likely needs action next, and you can see which ones have the biggest potential gains too. Thousands and thousands of percentage gains possible.
All
I'll
right.
let you
Well,
have the last word, man.
yeah, no, that's all the time I got for today. So I think from maybe 8 or 9:30, sorry, 8:30 to 9:10, we can probably do 40 minutes every morning. And then I got to get off and then just jump on my private live stream for everybody else. So that's it for me for today, and see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you guys so much. It was fantastic doing this with you, Matt, and I look forward to doing it with you every day now.
Yes.
Every day.